So if you've been around my channel for a little bit, you know that almond flour is my jam. And today we are going to make the crispiest, most golden gluten-free eggplant parmesan with it. There's no frying, there's no mess, it's oven baked. We're gonna pile on marinara, lots of cheesy goodness, and it's gonna be easy, so let's do it. So let's talk eggplant. So you need 2 medium eggplants for this. I like either like smallish or medium eggplants because they're less bitter and then you don't have to sweat the eggplant first, which means I'm sprinkling some salt on it and letting the moisture come out before you use it. So I'm going to slice this in about 1/2 inch rounds. So I hate buying specialty gluten-free ingredients, and I always have almond flour on hand, so that's why I like to use almond flour for breading, and it also bakes up nice and crispy when it's paired with the grated Parmesan cheese. So for the breading, I have 1.3 cups of almond flour, which is about 141 grams, then 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, which is 135 grams. For the seasonings, I have 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And now this is something you don't have to add, but I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is 18 grams. And I add this in, you don't have to add it, but I like to add it to breading because it helps bind it a little bit more so your breading doesn't like flake off the eggplant. If you don't want to use it, you can leave it out, or arrowroot powder also works. All right, we're ready to dip. So we have 3 eggs that are beaten in 1 container. Then I have my almond flour mixture, and I'm going to put this on 2 baking sheets just because you want these to spread out so they get nice and crispy. Otherwise, if you shove them all in, it's gonna catch the steam in between the eggplant, which already has a lot of moisture, and it won't get browned. So I generously put some olive oil on here, and I'm gonna take the eggplant and just dip it in the egg. When I'm breading things, I like to one hand's my messy hand, my other hand I try to keep clean. And then generously put some of this breading on. I hate running out of breading when you're dipping things, so I kind of go a little bit overboard with my breading so that doesn't happen. And then lay it on your baking sheet. Before I put the pans in the oven, I'm putting them in a 425 oven first for 20 minutes and flipping halfway through. If you don't have one of these, you could get away with it because you're gonna flip it and it'll have the olive oil on the other side, but I love this olive oil mister. I will link to it in my description, but I kind of like to spray the tops just to give that extra little fried texture without the mess and the work of deep frying. And when you flip them over, you could do the other side as well. Okay, we have our beautiful, crispy, gluten-free, but no one would know it, eggplant. So now we're ready to assemble everything. I have about 1 cup of marinara sauce that I'm just gonna spread on the bottom of my casserole dish. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan. And then to the top of that, I'm going to layer about 6 eggplant. So I like to use my bigger eggplant first to kind of build up my base. So I'm gonna pick my biggest ones. And then on top of the eggplant, I have freshly grated mozzarella, and I'm gonna just sprinkle about 1 cup over all of that. If you have like buffalo mozzarella, I've done that before, where you can thinly slice it and then layer it on the eggplant, so it's like eggplant stacks. That's really good. Okay, and then on top, just layer another layer of eggplant. Spoon another cup of sauce on top. So this recipe uses 1 24-ounce jar of marinara. Of course, if you have homemade marinara, kudos. I would definitely use that. But if you want to go store-bought, then just grab 1 jar. Okay, another cup of cheese on top of that. And then just finish off with the rest of your eggplant. I have some smaller pieces here, so I'm just gonna put those on top. Okay, and then just finish it off with the rest of your marinara on top. So when your eggplant came out of the oven, we baked that at 425. You want to lower the oven to 375 to bake the casserole. Now this does not take as long as the lasagna. It only takes about 25 to 35 minutes. You're basically just melting the cheese. And then if you want that nice golden bubbly cheese on top, I usually finish it off with a quick broil. This is like my lighter, easier, kind of more low carb version of lasagna. My whole family loves this recipe. Even my kids ask for it. It's so good. Oh my God, you just have to try this. Like even people that are eggplant haters will love this recipe. I've done it as a make-ahead dish. If you go to the recipe website, I have how you can bread the eggplant first, make it a freezer meal. This is a must make for a family dinner or even like a party gathering. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.